Hey everybody, welcome to Mistakes Were Made. If you are a fan of the channel and have been watching some of our videos, you notice that we are not in our usual settings. If this is the first video of ours that you are seeing, I promise we are usually talking about debt reduction, budgets, and things like that, but I thought it might be interesting to show one of the things that tends to come up fairly often in our videos, and that is our garden. So this is a little bit of a side field trip from the normal. I will say I am feeling a little bit under the weather. Today is day 2 of not feeling good, so hopefully I'll be able to keep this tour fairly short and I won't lose my voice or anything like that. So I will say that despite the fact we are, looking at our garden, there is definitely a direct tie to debt and budgeting and everything, because when we purchased this house, the previous owners had 2 raised beds. They were about 4 by 9 in diameter, or not diameter, for the dimensions, and they worked great for about the last 8 or so years, or 8 years after we purchased. But it was 3 years ago that we were noticing that they were really starting to fall apart. And I'm not sure how long they had those, but I have a feeling it was quite some time before we even purchased. They were made out of that same kind of material that you see over there for that bench slash herb bed. And so it was at that point we decided we were going to need to be looking towards the future, because of course we love to garden, and see what we can do to replace them. The other thing was, though they were decent size, 4 foot by 9 foot, it's not too shabby, we wanted more room to be able to garden. And so all of that culminated into this extension of our garden space. And a little bit of the extension over here, we'd already had about from this point over and where that path is back in place, and then we just extended the rest of that 2 years ago now, this year being the second year. So where is the tie to debt and budgeting and everything? Well, even though we did have the money in many cases, not throughout the entirety of the project, but in many cases, to use cash or pay for things outright, we did put a vast majority of the expansion on credit cards. We were in our old mindset. We weren't looking at using our stuff properly, our money properly. And when we talk about the credit cards that we're currently paying down, part of that is the cost of creating this. And if we look at it, we know we are paying more for the privilege of being able to put this together than we would have if we just saved money for the times that we didn't have the cash on hand and did it a little bit more piecemeal than we actually went about it, because we paid interest on those costs and things like that. Now, do we regret that we've put this in place? No, it is in the past. The actions that we have taken have already been done, so there's no going back and changing anything. We are dealing with the downsides of the way we went about it, but we absolutely love the fact that we have this in place. So anyway, that was a little bit of an introduction to the how does this fit in the debt and budgeting genre of the channel. So just a quick look-see over here. This is what I call our berry area. We've got raspberries, which are in their second year, and hopefully we're going to have far more production than we did last year. Mr. M has some lingonberries. Our poor lavender bush, it was so beautiful. It was very lush and big. It did not make it through the ice storm last year, so we ended up needing to get a replacement. We have 2 honeyberries. One is a male, which is primarily for pollination, and I'll be honest, I didn't really think that the males would have fruit on them, but I was looking over at it the other day and they do have some berries, so go figure. Here you can see a few berries there, and as you can see, it is raining, and I probably shouldn't be out here while it's raining, but I'm taking a break from work, and the upside to doing this now is it's not so hot that my phone is gonna start telling me that it's gonna shut down automatically because of the warmth. We've got multiple kinds of blueberries. This one's a peach sorbet, and this is its second year. This is a pink lemonade, and this is its second year. Not doing so great on the production, but you know, year 2, we need to give it time. This one is a blue jay, maybe named after the birds that are going to want to totally eat all of the berries. It's probably, I want to say 3 or 4 years old, so it's starting to come into its own. That one's called Blue Ray and has yet to put out any flowers in the years that we've had it. No idea why. And I think we bought both of those 2 at the same time. I couldn't tell you what variety this guy is, because this is one of the first blueberries that we put in, I want to say about 6 or 7 years ago, maybe even a little longer than that. And we put this one in at the same time. This is our prize. We got over 4.5 pounds of blueberries off of it last year. I don't know the exact amount that we did, simply because we did a lot of eating off the bush as well. But yeah, it is where we get most of our blueberries for breakfasts, muffins, making jam, and all of that. Over here we have some garlic that I planted last October because I decided I was going to do an experiment and see, is there a benefit to planting garlic in the fall, which is when I usually do it, over planting them in the spring, which there is our little spring attempt, and we'll kind of see what there is to see about it. The rest of the bed is kind of a mismatch because I needed space to put things. So we've got some flowers, milkweed, stock, amaranth, and then we have a couple of cauliflower, a white and a purple, that we didn't have room in the bed where the other cauliflower is for. So that's over here. And I think I didn't put any little tags down, but I'm pretty sure I also planted some parsnips in here. Another experiment one, because I'm not so sure if I like parsnips, but we're gonna give it a go. We had some extra strawberries, so I planted some there. And as you can see, this weedy area, let me zoom out just a little bit, is horrendous, and we really need to get in here and tame it just a little bit. But this is where one of the old beds was. We've had some trouble getting, the skeleton of it taken care of. So in the meantime, what we did is took some of the boards from there and created a bit of a platform, and we'll be putting, more of our container pots down there. We did a similar thing over here because this herb bed basically has a ton of mint in it, as you can see, which has completely escaped and is all over. It is so invasive. I warn you, Mint is beautiful. It smells delicious when it's getting mowed over, and Mr. M likes to use it for his mint juleps and mojitos. But it will never die. It will get out and it will take over. So be very careful if you are going to plant it, and make sure you plant it in something that it cannot escape from. So anyway, we took some of the longer boards and put it on top of this to create sort of a bench situation just for seating, as well as putting pots and stuff on. Some of the stuff that we've transferred has not done very well. Such is life. But we do have, some thyme and oregano that's doing okay. Our sage died. These pansies have come back year after year after year. I think this is about year 4. So that's nice. We've got some fuchsias that we got at the fuchsia sale earlier this year. A rosemary is a big, big beauty. And smells so good. She is doing well. We typically will harvest, we'll trim it down and take what we've trimmed and dehydrate it and then powder it, and use that in our cooking. And it's been great. We need to, well, no, we won't need to do that again for a little while, because, a little bit goes a long way. It's very, very potent. So it'll be a little bit before we need to do another dehydrate and grind session. Let's see. And I apologize for the sniffing and everything. Oh man, it's been a little while since I've been sick, and I am not enjoying it at all. So this is our red onion. This is kind of an overflow of tomatoes. So last year I put in that bed, along with a bunch of peppers, like 14 tomato plants. Boy, did we learn our lesson that it was way too many in one place to pack all of that. Plus, I think we had maybe another 8 peppers. So my goal was this year to keep it down to around 8 to 10. Yeah, that didn't work. I don't know. It didn't work. But when we were starting this stuff indoors, it didn't go as well as it did last year. Last year, our indoor starts were very, very lush. They were big and healthy and beautiful. This year, this is what we're looking at. Lots of yellowing and stuff. And we didn't do anything different last year, between last year and this year. The only thing that I can think of is the soil that we used last year is the same soil that we've always used for our raised beds and everything. And it's the same soil that we use this year. But I noticed when we were refilling the beds, which it kind of almost looks like we didn't because of how low it's already compacted. When we refilled the beds and then we started to plant stuff, there have been far more just chunks of plastic, and it's not like a typical plastic, like if you were to take a kid's toy, a hard kid's toy, and crunch it into bits and you have those bits of plastic. It's not like that. It's like plastic bags, or even the heavier plastic for like a garden soil bag, and just complete, like condensed or compressed really, really hard. And it's just chunks of that. We're coming across it in the soil. And we have never seen that before. So I don't know if the quality control, something went wrong with that, for the company that we purchase our soil from. I don't know if, the demands of soil got so high that they didn't complete their processes as much, or they, let certain things go that they previously wouldn't, just so that they'd have volume. I don't know. But that was the only thing that I could think of. There's of course the possibility that we actually did do something different this year, and we don't realize it, because we are not master gardeners. When you look at this is not our attempt to create some massive garden, and we're not looking to maximize the production or anything like that. Our goal is not to completely eliminate the need to go to the grocery store. We absolutely love the fact that we can have fresh food, that we know where it's come from, we know what's been used on it. We certainly enjoy the aspect of being able to choose to try to grow things and see how it goes. But we're not of the sort to, try and push the boundaries of how much can I get out of the area that I have or anything like that. We're very much not looking for this to be a job. First and foremost, this is here for our mental health, for to give us a reason to get out into the beauty of our environment, to put our hands in the soil, that soil therapy, to enjoy the fruits of our labor. But for us, seeds know what they want to do. You put them in the soil, make sure they get sun and water, maybe a little bit of fertilizer if they need it, and they're going to do what they're going to do. So we don't want this to be anything more than it is. So just very surface. It's going to be work. I'm not saying that it's not going to be work, but we don't want it to become a job or anything like that. So we're a little laissez-faire about how we handle things in our garden. I got a little bit off track. So this is a red potato over here. This is a blue or purple potato here. Yellow potato here. Some more red onions. And then we had some yellow onions. And then a bunch more yellow onions. And we just recently went and got some of the peppers that we hadn't started and put them into the ground. It's a little bit early for that because we are still seeing some temperatures drop below 50 degrees at night. So we'll see how it goes. But again, with how terrible the seed starting went, we've got some of our peppers from that we were starting indoors that we've put out here. Oh, I knocked over. Oof. A shovel. And they just didn't look great, so we decided let's just put them in the ground and see if maybe access to even more nutrients and stuff like that will give them a kick in the pants and they'll get going. We'll see. They may grow just fine and be beautiful. They may grow and be kind of stunted, and they may just die. And we'll deal with whatever outcome ends up being the case. Over here is that failed attempt at not doing too many tomatoes. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Well, this is not too bad. I was hoping between 8 and 10 in the bed, but then of course we have our overflow that we kind of got sidetracked in the middle of. But again, these are all ones that we started ourselves. They don't look the best, so we're hoping maybe they'll bounce back, but we'll have to wait and see. If they don't, then we will I don't know if we'll try to start some more indoors or if we'll just go and purchase stuff at the store and leave off, the special varieties, which is basically what we tend to do if we're going to be starting from seed. We put some flowers in, as trap plants and to bring in pollinators. We did put some beans in the middle over here. Let's see. And then over here, we've got beets and cabbage. Mr. M loves cabbage because he loves to do sauerkraut. I am not a fan, so that's all him. The beets are also all him. They just taste too dirty for me. I can't get past that dirt taste. We've got the cauliflower, and we've got this beautiful butter crunch. We put that in last year for the first time. we loved it. The taste was delicious, and it held up really, really well in the refrigerator for quite some time. So we absolutely wanted to make sure we did some more again this year. Didn't have as good of germination on this other row over here, but that's okay. Since these are kind of our cool weather crops, I have put these poles in because eventually we are going to have to put some shade cloth over them. But for now, we're good. You can just barely see. We've got like little carrot leaves. So our carrots are coming along. And then we've got our sugar magnolia peas, and those are ones that have like these really, really pretty purple flowers, and some of the pea pods end up being purple as well. Not all of them, but we really like those from last year. And then over on this side of our beautiful arch we created, we have our shelling peas. And keep trying to make sure that these climb up this doohickey, but sometimes they're stubborn. We are finally getting a few flowers, so hopefully we'll start seeing some peas in our future. That'd be nice. Oh my goodness. All right, so anyway, we had another extra strawberry, so I put it there. Here's some more overflow of the peppers. They were having I think 3 for $12 sale or something like that, 4 for $12, I can't remember. So of course, we had to go and buy some more. But I think that covers everything in the beds. And then we have these guys, which are called green stalks, if you're not familiar with them. And they're essentially just towers that you can put stuff in. I've had mixed results as far as starting seeds in them. So for example, our dill has done nothing. And our watercress has also done nothing. But we've got some chervil that's in here. We've got some wild bergamot. We've got some alyssum. This is some hot and spicy oregano, which actually overwintered last year, and we just needed to refresh the tower, so we pulled it out, refreshed the soil, and put it back in. We've got a lot of beans that we have planted in the last, I want to say we planted them over the weekend, so it's been a few days. We've got some dill, some other dill, some summer savory, some sage, some snapdragons that we started indoors, some basil. We'll see if these last. It's been getting a little bit cool, so they may not make it. They don't like it when it's cold. We've got zinnias. We have these guys, which are lantana. I bought these at the store. I didn't start them myself, but they were really, really pretty. And I got them last year, so I wanted to make sure I got another one this year. But we've got these towers. There's still a few more open pockets, so we'll probably put some random stuff in there. The plan had been this would be all herbs, but we don't have enough different herb things to put in there, so it'll probably become a hybrid one. Over here, I'll probably catch a glimpse of our very, very dirty patio, which is why we need to do our patio and junk clean up. This one was going to be just a hybrid one that has a bunch of random stuff. Again, we had some things that didn't actually germinate, like our scarlet flax and our parsley, but we have a little bit of lettuce. We're going to have to do another sowing of the lettuce in there. We added some of our peppers that we got just recently. We've got some marjoram, and we've got a bunch of other lettuces. We actually need to start harvesting this. Then we've got a whole row of carrots. We've got some bok choy that's coming along. Some quinoa, which is an experiment. We'll see what that turns into. We got some radishes down at the bottom, and a little bit of kale, and some other things that decided not to germinate. And then last but not least, this is our strawberry tower. Last year we did strawberries, bush beans, strawberries, bush beans, strawberries. But this year I just wanted all strawberries with a few flowers for interest and, pollinators. And they're coming along nicely, as we could see. Got some really, really pretty strawberries coming in. Most of the plants look pretty healthy. A good number of these did come from last year, so this is their second year of life. We've got a nasturtium that's coming along. Excuse me. And just lots of flowers. We're probably gonna have to cover this soon so that the birds don't get into their brains that they're gonna be able to come and take my beautiful berries. It's gonna be about that time. Yeah, we do have some that aren't necessarily making the transition well, so that one's probably gonna have to come out. We also have an open pocket there. I don't know if we'll just go and buy some more starts to put in, or if we'll fill them with some other kind of flower situation. I haven't really made that decision yet, but there it is. So whenever I reference the garden, this is basically what I'm talking about, where I'm at, what I'm doing. We do have some fruit trees as well, but maybe we'll do a quick tour of those for a different day. It is definitely starting to rain a little bit harder, and my throat's starting to hurt after talking for so long. And what are we looking at? Yeah, it's about 26 minutes, so I'm a little bit over my break. Don't tell anybody. I'm gonna get back in and get to work, and I hope this was a fun deviation from the normal. Love to get your feedback and comments, and we'll see you in the next one.